Hi everyone, it's Trina again. This video is going to be pretty short. I just wanted to share with you why I wanted to be a teacher and a little bit about the value of art education in our schools. I promise I'll be short. The reason I wanted to be a teacher is interesting. I wasn't one of those students who knew my whole life I wanted to be a teacher, although I was teaching children younger than me the whole time I was growing up through various youth organizations and at church and various places. But I was born creative. I have been so creative since my earliest memories. It wasn't until I was about 30 that I realized that wasn't normal. I just thought everyone could do what I did. And one day I went, whoa, I really do have a talent here. Whoa, why haven't I been doing something with this? But anyway, I had been doing something with it. But professionally, I think I could have easily been a painter. But I majored in fashion design at K-State a long time ago when T-Rexes walked the face of the earth. And I came to Dallas in 1984 right after graduation and worked as a designer in Dallas for a few years. Oh, between graduating from K-State and coming to Dallas, I went to school at the Paris Fashion Institute for a while. And so I worked as a designer and I loved it. I like to wear fun clothes. I mean, yeah, I love fun clothes. And I'm glad there are people that want to design fun clothes because I get real excited when I see a cool shirt like this. But I felt like something was missing. And if you see me itching, the mosquitoes have decided to move in on me big time. So I wanted to, I wanted to do something that made the world a better place. I know that sounds philosophical and dreamy and, but that's what I wanted. And one day I was in a school and I remember I just felt a calling at an exact moment. I just turned in a 360 and I went, oh, this school needs so much help. It was a school in a rural area, a low performing school. And I knew I could do so much to help in that school. So that began my quest to become an art teacher. I taught art for free that year as a volunteer art teacher. The school didn't have art. I taught art in private school for a few years. Didn't need to be certified for that, all while I was working on getting my alternative certification in art, which the state of Texas has an outstanding alternative certification program where people in related degrees can go back to school and get their licensure to teach. A little bit like our T-Learn program, a little different but similar. So I got my alternative certification and began teaching and loved it. Every minute of it. Never had a day I didn't love. I've taught all levels, K through 12. Art, and in schools often you get to teach a section or two of something that's out of your area. So I was also very good at journalism, so I got to do the newspaper and theater and the yearbook and a lot of the creative things. So the reason I became a teacher was I was a parent. I was a concerned community member. I had skills and talents I knew I could share, but more importantly, I had a heart for kids. And we need good teachers in our school. No, we don't need good teachers in our school. We need great teachers in our school. We've got enough average everything in this country right now. In this course, my whole goal is to produce great teachers. And I know every single one of you will be. So that's why I became a teacher. Now, about art. Why is art important? Well, we're artists. You're already artists. I've seen most of your work, and you're very accomplished artists. We know the value of art in our own lives. We know what it's done for us. We know what it can do for students. But art can often be at the bottom of the academic food chain in schools. It's been that way for a long time, which is kind of interesting to me because we fill our schools with art. The interior design of the school is art. The exterior design is art. We hang artwork on the walls. We color. We design our classrooms with color. The furniture was designed by somebody. But more importantly, there's always beautiful art hanging around the school. Look at the K-State campus. It's full of art. So we know that the joy and the value that a beautiful environment gives to human beings. Humans are the only animals on the planet that express emotion, and we've got to have some emotion in our school days. Many students at the elementary level and middle school level are really frustrated with certain subjects. Math is very difficult for them, and so they get really upset. Art gives them an outlet. Art gives us a way to enhance what they're learning in math, science, social studies, language arts, technology at the that was my neighbor, sorry, at the level. So that is what art does at the elementary level. And let's just summarize very briefly. Once we get into middle school and secondary level, middle school, high school, what we see is students begin kind of peeling off. Maybe they're an athlete, maybe they're in band, maybe they're in the visual arts or dance or drama or the many different areas we have in our schools now. And so then in high school art, what you see are students who fall into two categories. They're either in art because they need a fine arts credit and they took art. And maybe they don't like anything about art, but they had to get that fine arts credit. You're their teacher. And then there are the students who are really into art. Okay, and there may be some gray area in between, but your challenge as a secondary teacher is you've got to reach both of these groups of students. And how do you do that? And the other thing that is very important in secondary art is it's not a blow-off class. It's not a glorified study hall. Students don't walk in and just get to sit down and do whatever they want for the next 45 minutes on the project you told them about 5 days ago. No, class is structured. You have entry tickets, journal prompts when they come in. It's ready to go on the whiteboard or a slide that you have ready to go. You go over announcements. You get them ready for class. They get to work. Maybe you demonstrate something or teach them something. Maybe you've assigned some of them to demonstrate something. Draw them in. Include them. As class ends, cleanup has to happen in an organized way. Have an exit ticket or do the journal prompt at the end of class. Have a set bell ringer at the beginning of class and a set way to wrap class up. Make sure your students see some uniformity in how your class is run, and then don't deviate from that. Have expectations for them and they'll know it. And when your principal walks in to do your assessment, he's going to be so proud of the work going on in the art classroom. He's not walking into a circus where kids are, goofing off with each other. You're going to have plenty of that at high school, but there are things you can do to overcome that. But most importantly, art matters because it matters. You know why. Your challenge is to draw your students into that. Create something so exciting that they want to be in it. Don't plan boring units where, okay, this is a watercolor unit. We're going to go over these 5 different ways that you can use additives and with watercolor. Some advanced technique. No, bring it to life. Bring it to life with some crazy, interesting still life that they have to paint on all the exercises. Bring it to life with pulling in some obscure artist from some obscure country, or puns, or pop art, or maybe they are designing their own app for a phone. Pull exciting, interesting things into the theme of each unit. My pet peeve, and I'm going to be honest here, my pet peeve is high school art programs where the program is only focused on media technique and the elements and principles of art and dead artists, art history. Those programs are so living in the past. This is the 21st century. Your student can watch somebody doing something live today in Bora Bora if they want to. Art teachers have got to embrace this 21st century world we're living in, not even 20th century world we're living in, this 2016 world we're living in, and it'll be different next year in 2017. So every unit that you do in your art classrooms needs to have some thematic aspect where you're pulling in some interesting hook to get your students excited about it, and then beef that up with a lot of demonstrating, showing them technique, not just putting it at the table with the supplies. Every few days, gather them around you and show them something new, or ask a student to come up, can you demonstrate about this in 4 or 5 days, and draw your students into the demonstrations. High school students are smart. They know when a class is when they're being babysitted. They know. High school students come to a classroom and they hate to sit there for an hour or however long your class is with not much direction and not much to do and not much stimulation. They hate it. They may not tell you they do, but they do. So fill their minds. I like to say, turn your classroom into an inventive lab of discovery. Don't let it be an assembly line of production. So have a good week. Get familiar with this course. Get to work on that Unit 1 proposal. It's due next week. And let's get that philosophy of art teaching done and written, and your resume ready to go, laid out, and what you know you can put on it so far on it. So I'll see you soon. Bye.